welcome back to the MPL Season 4. This is the final match of our regular season. And of course, we're going to be your shoutcasters. I am Shibubi the One for NI. And with my partner, hey guys, ano na?
Oh.
Show na.
What's good? It's your boy Leo.
And I am Nomad, and this is going to be a jam-packed fight. It's going to be Signal
Indeed.
Ultra going up against SGD Omega.
Yes.
One of the El Clasicos, if I say so myself.
These two teams have been around for quite a while, and when you say SGD, there's a certain level of Mobile Legends you expect, right? And when you say Signal Ultra, we know them as the comeback kings, and right here, right now, this is their chance to come back into the playoffs.
Yes, and normally whenever you're playing on the week 6, on the final day of the final week, this kind of match, they hold no bearing. They hold no bearing. But,
No.
you know, it could be one. It could be one of the two. It's either there's no bearing for this one, like you're totally eliminated, you're just playing it for the score or whatever.
Yeah.
But it can be an all-in match.
And this is exactly that.
Yeah, we roll out defense on it, and this is exactly that for the side of Signal Ultra.
And yeah, speaking of Signal Ultra, this is a team that has been on a streak.
Yeah.
Not much of a good streak. It's a losing streak, but you know there have been times in their old entire season run where they were showing potential just like what they were during season 2. Leo, what are your thoughts on this upcoming matchup between them? Do you think this is going to be the time where finally Signal Ultra can come back in shape?
I love the question because there's so much into it, right? You literally just asked me if this is the time for Signal to come back. But then again, there's so many things that come along that question mark. There's so many things that you have to ask yourselves. Are we going to see a Bruno? Are we going to go 2-0? Are we going to go 2-1? Will we see Signal Ultra back in the playoffs? And how will this affect SGD? I didn't even do the math. I'm not sure if a loss here will put SGD in the lower bracket or are they secured in the upper. But what I'm sure of, how I can answer that, is that both teams are going to give their all. And I think we are going to see Signal Ultra once again pull something of a Bruno, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure
they're the first one to roll, and of course, pull in the bullet of a Bruno for the running meta. We did saw the Bruno onto the side of Onyx also won, but I think that is kind of a one-sided game, right?
So again, I think the key to victory here for Signal, because they are the pivot point, right? So SGD has been doing very well. Earlier in the season, they defeated the returning champions who just sadly now got eliminated, and they pulled through with a few more prolific wins. But I think against one Signal Ultra, who we've seen are able to do crazy things with heroes like Bruno, I think their key to victory here is going to be just that. I think Bluffsy needs to do something here. He needs to do something special for them to be able to get the 2-0.
What do you think, Shibu? Is that going to be the case? It has to be the exotic picks from Signal Ultra to
Could be one. It could be on many things. I don't. Normally, we would try to advise the teams do not do exotic picks.
Be safe.
Be safe, or just work with something that you're familiar with what you're known with. But this Signal Ultra we're talking about, if there's one thing that is characterized for them, that would be the Comeback Kings. And being a Comeback King in itself is a very risky title.
Very
Because
dangerous.
you have to lose.
Yeah.
You have to lose. You have to be in a very tight spot, and this is a tight spot for Signal Ultra.
Yeah, the Comeback Kings.
Yeah, for the Comeback Kings. And again, if ever they take this one to 0, played really well into the playoffs, that would be one of the best comeback narrative ever in Mobile Legends history.
Because it's different from being the Comeback Kings in-game than being Comeback Kings outside the game. And I feel, if you're going to ask me right now, it feels like it's a tall order for them.
It's a tall order.
Because they're going up against SGD Omega. Not the best, not the worst, but certainly one of the consistent teams out there. And I want to ask you guys, why do you think that is the case? Why is SGD Omega such a consistent team?
SGD Omega reminds me a bit of Sunsparks, right? In season 1, and even before that, we've seen these guys already. I mean, in a different light, and of course, maybe a few key roster changes here and there. But they were always touted as child prodigies, you know, young, talented Mobile Legends professionals, and they just needed a little bit more time under the limelight, and they needed the time to hone their skills. But right here, right now, in Season 4, we've seen that they're capable of very good things, and with the right chemistry and the right timing, they're able to perform. And right here, that's what Signal Ultra is staring down.
Yeah. And much like Sunsparks, as you mentioned, they're also a high-tempo team. Yeah. They're also a high-tempo team, except that Sunspark is more fluid historically over the regular season. But yeah, I would go for this is a team fighting team. the likes of SGD, but also so is Signal Ultra. That's the thing. It's just that what Signal Ultra would want, especially SGD doesn't need anything to do really on this one. I'm not so sure. We would want to review the score here.
Yeah.
What we are sure is that Signal Ultra is the team with the tall order for this, with the 2-0 requirement, just so they can stay in the tournament.
Yeah.
So for the side of SGD here, all they need to do is just wait out for any mistakes, which are always common for Signal Ultra.
It happens.
Capitalize on that one, and of course, maybe if the score, or if we see it on the score, or on the standings, then maybe SGD can get something out of this. SGD can maybe get into the upper bracket.
Yeah. Before we move on, I just got to mention as well, one of the strengths on the side of SGD is their draft. They have a solid draft. I really like the way they draft, and a lot of the coaches in the league that I've talked to before, prior to this last week of broadcast, were always worried about what they were going to bring to the table when going up against SGD. So that might be something we watch out for here today.
Yeah, but I just want to go outside the meta here real quick, because in the past couple of games that Signal Ultra has been playing, noticeably, Yako hasn't been playing.
Yeah.
You're right. They have sat him down.
Right
Yeah.
now, it's Eson that's playing in his spot. Do you think that's a big factor going into all the games that Signal Ultra has been? Yako not playing at all and Eson playing in.
Let me go first.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the factor for the games here, ladies and gentlemen, as we head on to the Signal Ultra lineup. So for the games here, I'm not so sure. I think Signal Ultra is trying to rediscover something without Yako. But it's more of the main impact here is there are some issues within the team that they need to work on. So it's not really something within the game. It's within the theme that they need to fix.
And I
right?
think that's worse. Is
Yeah,
that?
that's
Am I
worse.
wrong
think
to say that?
That's worse
Yeah,
actually
because-
compared to solving something within the game.
Yeah,
compared to
because
solving something within the team.
The game can be fixed.
Yeah.
But if it's you guys that's having a trouble,
It's more
you know,
complex.
yeah, it's Yako, Few, D, Desenia, Tets, Eson. We've known them for so long now.
Yes,
They've been
yeah.
together for so long.
Yes.
And to know that there's trouble in paradise, that's something that I can't grasp. I don't want to see that. These guys are my heroes. I'm pretty sure a lot of people as well watching see them as, their team. And to think that, the cap is off? What's going on?
Yes.
Yeah, because this is they have been here since season 1 under the Digital Devils pro gaming lineup, and they've been consistent. They've been in all all playoffs, both grand finals.
They're always there to contest the likes of Bren.
Yeah.
They're
right?
always there, and now they're gone for some reason. They're not in the same spot that we are used to, and this begs to ask: SGD Omega has been in the same spot for the past couple of seasons. Do you think this might be a chance for them to just switch things up and finally bring out the pain going into the playoffs?
You know what? I don't think it's up to them even. Like that. What's crazy is that's why I keep saying. So you think it's gonna come down to the exotic pick, or it's gonna come down to the weird strategy in game? Because as we mentioned, there seems to be some dissent among the ranks.
Yeah, whatever it is. I'm not so sure about the exotic picks or anything. I believe in Signal Ultra so much that there is no need. There is a need. It's always a given to fix
Yes.
something, but I think something is more important right now, and that is the dissent to fix that issue within the team.
It's their
Yeah.
chemistry.
It's normally we don't discuss this kind of things, especially it's actually like kind of a personal matter.
Of
for the
course.
teams. But this might be the last time
It's-
that we'll be seeing them
and it's-
in the season 4. So
yeah.
we need to mention this.
And it's very evident.
It's very evident. It's
Yeah.
very evident. So that is something that they need to leave out.
Yeah.
And going into the side of SGD Omega, we got Kritzo, Kenji, Carl Teasy, Toshino, Heath, and
Ivan.
Ivan. And of course, we do have Dale as a coach for this team. These guys they have the synergy. They've been here for the longest time in this exact same spot. They've been here for the longest time,
Yeah.
and now they're about to eliminate Signal Ultra. One of the teams that actually beat them during season 3, if I'm not mistaken, in the lower bracket. Going into this, Dale is now the coach here, no longer playing. Do you think he was able to alleviate some of the pressure that was once on Lex? Do you think he's adding a new mix to SGD Omega?
100% yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
I believe that Dale, as a coach here, has done wonders for SGD. Not to say that he was better than Lex, but I'm just saying now that we have this coaching position and with this new lineup, I think Dale is someone that these guys listen to.
And it's reflective.
Yeah.
It is reflective, ladies and gentlemen. Also, you'd want to consider, again, these are child prodigies. for the side of SGD. Again, they got the likes of Kenji,
Yeah.
right? Who's always been one of well, Doggy mentioned it. Like he's a very strong player. He said so, and also to consider that he's one of the most threatening player in the solo lane position.
So yeah, you mentioned how they're young right now. Kenji is among their eldest, which is weird to say. But that said, having Dale as the coach once more, going back to the point, it's like I will listen to you because you were once where I was.
You were
that could be
there.
one. Yeah.
We were there together, and now I listen to you. Kind of
And
like how
sometimes
back
having
back then.
younger coach alleviates the pressure. You know, it's more like you're just talking to a friend. You know, not a senior.
Shout out to Lex, but yeah, it's
Oh no, we love Lex.
we love Lex. Don't get us wrong. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Love talking to him. Really cool. But yeah, this is SGD Omega just vying for a spot in the playoffs. Yeah, it's either going to be lower or upper bracket if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the effect is evident. You do remember SGD's position back in season 3.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's not that high.
Yeah.
It's not that high.
Right now, it's pretty well. They're actually competing for an upper bracket.
They're in the chance for the upper bracket, much like Brenny Sports earlier today. So we're going back to that question. Is that what's going to happen? Are we going to see an upper bracket SGD, or are we going to see Signal Ultra sneak their way into the playoffs?
If you're going to ask me that question, it might be Signal Ultra sneaking their way into the playoffs.
These are basically predictions.
These
right
are
now.
basically predictions, but we're going to have to look at the tail of the tape here real quick and see just how the matchups are going to be looking here. We've got Few and Toshino going up
carry
against
versus
each other.
carry.
Like the two carries of these games, 4-3-4, 5-2-5, and all damages aside. This matchup, though, marksman versus marksman. What do you guys think about this?
I like it because it's core to core. You know what I mean? Those both players are very used to having their damage outputs on their backs as players.
It's carry versus carry, right?
Yeah.
But we have a history on Few. That's a Bruno. So that's one of the things that you would want to see
Do you
on
think
this kind of tail of the tape.
scary?
So that's one of the selling point here for Few compared to Toshino.
But Toshino,
Toshino
has a mean Esmeralda too.
Yes, that's the thing.
As I think their cores, they're good at dealing a lot of damage, but I guess this begs to ask, who is the better core? Let's not look at stats. Let's look at gameplay. Who is the better core between Toshino and Few?
I'll give it to Few.
I give it to Few.
Okay,
Can you
Loki, I
elaborate,
was
please?
hoping you would say Toshi, but yeah, we've seen Few.
Toshino was threatening, if I can recall, Harit or probably Granger.
Yeah.
Forget that one. But the thing here is that when you look at SGD, you cannot really take your eye off on the likes of Kenji.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of enablers onto the side of SGD.
Cartesi.
Meanwhile, Cartesi,
Yeah.
right? Yes. But if you look at Signal Ultra, back then it was all Yaku, right? It was all Yaku. You got
Yaku.
Lisinga as
Yep.
well. That starting season 2, going to season 3, you get Few. Especially on the season 2 championship, it was Few Selena. It was Few that inspired me in playing Selena. So that's how I look at the
you
Few.
haven't stopped playing Selena ever since.
Yeah, no.
That's
Mobile
it.
Legends.
There's no arguing that, right?
There's no arguing.
If you change somebody's life by playing Selena, and no, what I was gonna say there, because I don't play Selena, but I respect his Selena. What I think about when you say Few as the core, I see someone who can play from both behind and from a winning position. Like if you let Few farm by himself, I think what makes him so lethal was because Yako was also a very good offlaner. So again, it was a two-pronged attack from Signal Ultra whenever you would see these two together. But now that Yako's sitting out, I'm wondering if it's just Few carrying that burden by himself.
All right. Well, gentlemen, I'm going to be asking this question before we go into the draft. What do you think is a prediction going into the draft? Like, how is it going to play out?
I believe that SGD here is going to test Signal Ultra's capabilities. They are going to make them play and draft weird. Depending if they're first or not, I think it's SGD who's going to be setting the pace.
What about you, Shindu?
This is actually an elimination match, not for SGD and Signal Ultra. It's actually for Signal Ultra and EVOS.
Yeah.
So my heart goes for both teams. We do love both teams, EVOS and Signal Ultra. I just go with what the stats mentioned here. I would just go for 2-1 at best SGD.
2-1 at best SGD. There you have it. That's going to be the predictions. If you're going to come back to me. I want to see the comeback kings.
Very bold to say 2-1 SGD. Where does that put Signal? That puts Signal out, yeah?
That puts Signal out.
knocks
And
them
it
out.
keeps EVOS in.
It keeps EVOS in. That's the thing. So you get my point.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot choose between EVOS and Signal.
That's
You love
not
them
fair.
both.
It's not fair to
You love
ask.
them both. That's unfair
It's
to
so
ask.
hard.
So you just vote for SGD.
So you just go for the stats. You just go for the
Just
stats.
go for the stats and
you just follow the. You just follow your mind. You go for SGD here.
Yeah, if we're gonna be smart about it, right?
Yeah.
But then again,